Hi, everyone, and welcome to week 3 of Creating Chaos Out of a Rut. Today, we are going to talk about relationships.
Yay. Okay.
I'll let you take the lead.
So me too, because I am the relationship queen, I suppose.
Well,
That was a joke. Um, part of this building of chaos that we've created where, we started with being out of control and relaxing and then stepping into money and having this relaxing relationship with money and playful relationship with money. Now we'd like to step into what does your relationship look like with other people, whether it's parenting relationships, whether it's, technology relationships, no, whether it's, a relationship between two adults, three adults. There's no judgment here, whatever it is for you. For the intent and, for the purpose of creating ease for this, we're just going to say a relationship for two people, two adults, consenting adults, of course. And how do you get out of a rut if you're in one? And the fast and dirty answer is you mix it up. You do something different that you've never done before. You step out of your comfort zone. You get into the chaos of, I have no idea if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to try it anyway. That's the easy answer. So the question is, do you have a relationship with yourself? How you treat yourself in a relationship is how others will treat you. So if you're looking at how you put others before you put yourself in your priority of life, guess what? Others are going to put themselves before you in their priority of life because people feed off of relationships. And the actual definition of relationship is the distance between two people. So what distance do you create for yourself to be comfortable in relationships? And look at it for yourself. Like, what is your relationship with you?
that's interesting.
Yeah.
You've blown my mind already. I'm sorry, guys. Hang on a minute.
So if you had a relationship with yourself, what would you do to mix it up for yourself and get out of your own rut? Is it take a bubble bath, have a glass of champagne, go out and have your nails done, get a massage, buy a new perfume, drink out of a fancy teacup? I don't know. What are those things that you do to kind of give yourself sort of that, I'll call it sexy, that sexy energy for you and for no one else?
It's funny you say that, actually, because from my point of view, I've never really properly looked after myself. So I've started having a skincare regime.
Mhm.
My sister for Christmas bought me this box of stuff I'd never even look at, and some of it's really expensive to me. I'd usually be like a £5 bottle of moisturizer from the shop, and that would be expensive, but some of this stuff is like expensive, but my god, I feel good from it. And I'm not being funny. Like, okay, makeup's starting to come off a bit, but I'm looking all right. My skin feels good, I feel good, which means that I can put that out there.
Mhm.
Yeah. How about we start dating ourselves as well as our partners?
Mhm.
Nails done every month. I attempt to open a bottle of Prosecco every now and then, and it feels good. So drop us a comment with what you lot do to make yourselves feel good, which you could class as dating yourself. Matching underwear make me feel sexy.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I love that. Thank you for typing that in because honestly, if you can walk around like you have just had a proper UCK, I won't say it out loud just in case there's kids watching, but if you've had a proper tumble and you have that sort of post-orgasm glow, if you can walk around with that as you in your relationship, people will be drawn to you energetically and be like, I'll have what she's having. And if you treat yourself to that energy, okay, we're not talking necessarily about sex in this case. We're talking about the energy of walking around like, I look amazing. I care about me. Other people will follow your lead. And it doesn't have to be expensive. I mean, sure, we'd all love the glamorous luxury of, fancy.
But like,
That's really fun. But if you don't have that, what is really fun for you? Like, for example, I'll hold this up, and I have Teacup Tuesdays, and I drink out of a really fancy, expensive teacup. I've got one, and this makes me feel fancy, and I feel like I love it. It's just, I don't know, there's something that's a contribution from that really nice teacup, and it's nothing, right? I bought it once, and every week I use it. Oh, it's not Tuesday though, it's Wednesday, isn't it?
yeah.
Oh no, am I doing it
Oh,
wrong? No, I just needed another day of it, I suppose.
what is that going to do for your
I don't
relationship week? Oh, what can you owe this week?
I don't
You owe
know.
this week? Whoa.
2 fancy teacup days. Interesting. You know, one of the things that I'll share this with you too, is when you have a relationship with yourself, you're able to set boundaries with other people. And that is the biggest, I'll call it a problem that is solvable. When a person realizes, I'm hoping everybody understands what a Venn diagram is and has used it before, but in a relationship, that those two circles of a Venn diagram, right? Like, oh, Yusy Measy, we're besties, right? Well, in this case, one of those circles can overtake the other one with, and it's not always balanced. But if you go into a relationship where you've got a third in your Venn diagram, then you have a space for that relationship. But you are you, and they, and I'm using the pronoun they because it doesn't matter if it's male or female, they are they. They are them.
They are there.
Yeah, these new pronoun
Fine.
things. Still working on them. But that's that word. Here you are, but you can jump into that ring of relationship with whomever, and then you leave it. And it's okay to come back and forth. That's where you mix it up. That's how you get out of that rut. That's when you walk away from being encompassed by someone else's requirements and needs in a relationship, because you're taking care of you.
But if you look at that graph again, where the heart is, you've still got all of you, but you've still got some of you within the us section as well. So what can you do that's healthy for not just you and your relationship?
Right.
I think space is a big thing. Um, I know that a lot of relationships can work when you're suffocating each other almost. You need to be in each other's space all the time. And let's be honest, we're first in relationships. But to have that time off, time away from being someone's partner and mum or dad, I think is the healthiest thing you can do. And when it's, something that you're doing just for you. My husband goes and plays golf. He's out for like hours, but it's healthy, it's good. I go out with my girlfriends for dinner and stuff like that. Respecting that we need that space can be really healthy.
Yeah.
So for you people watching, I want to ask, what do you want your relationship to be? Are you working your relationships from how they should be because society says it should be this way? Or are you doing your relationship for you and what works for you and your partner? And what does that, is anyone brave enough to drop us a comment? Do you feel like you're doing relationships a bit differently? Or are you same old, same old? And if that works, awesome. Like whatever works for you.
I'll give you an example of what works or doesn't work in a relationship, even something really tiny. It doesn't have to be like this big, huge, scary thing. But, the idea of when you are with your partner in bed, and if you're cuddling or spooning, is what they call it over here in the US, right? Who's the big spoon and who's the little spoon? And if you are always one of those, my recommendation is switch it up. You be the big spoon rather than the little spoon, or vice versa. And see what that does to your relationship, where you can get out of that rut, because it's not expected. Like in some cases, society would say, oh, the man's bigger, therefore he should spoon the woman if the woman is smaller, which is a should. It's like an expectation or a society norm that may not work for you. So that's just like a little tiny example of something that people can probably envision. But think about what it works for you and what doesn't work for you. And what if your man does the laundry and he does it all the time and that's his job? What if you knew he was having a bad day and you just did it without saying a word and there was no expectation of getting a thank you or anything? What would that create for you? And that's where, like, when you're in that us space in the middle, even if there's a time where your circle or his circle comes over, there's no way to be encompassed completely by it because you each have the ability to just do that in that space and then pull away.
I've just got images of all these partners when you're saying, I want to be the big spoon now. These partners going, what?
Yeah.
What? You okay?
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to snuggle that opposite direction. It's a different perspective.
I'd be too scared of getting farted on. Just
Well,
saying.
yeah. I mean, there's definitely, you have combat, wounds to worry about there. And maybe not at night, or, if there's some hours where you're, fart free. But what would that look like and feel like and be like that's different to get out of a rut? And if it's you and you're in relationship with yourself right now, what if you slept on the opposite side of your bed?
Whoa,
Yeah,
that's probably weird.
it'd be weird, right?
Really weird.
What
But
just so do it.
what if
That's
I
the
said
chaos.
my
Yeah.
husband bed and kicked me over to my side? He always tells me I'm halfway or mostly over his side anyway. I wonder if I'm going to do that. Nicola says no. Haha.
I love that. Yeah.
Because even when you go away, if you stay in a hotel, you stay on your side of the bed. Oh,
Right.
okay. Okay. So, drop us a comment. What do you think if you were to do one of your partner's jobs? Would they realize and what would they think? Do we think they'd be a bit like, what the hell is going on? In my house, we've got pink and blue jobs. I am no way taking the bins out. It's cold, it's dark, and they stink. I'm not doing the bins. That's one thing I cannot do.
But what
Yeah,
if you did one week?
he'd go out and check on it.
And that's okay. But what if you did?
Wrong. Right, bin out, babe. Yeah, I checked the sheet.
Mhm.
That I think that would be a step too far for our relationship. I
Okay.
think I'm worried.
Okay, here's another example. What if your partner's the one who brings you flowers and you go to the store and you bring them flowers? How would that be received?
Oh, you bought yourself flowers, have you? No, you.
Well, or you have them delivered to where they work,
That would be
where
interesting.
it's a very interesting dynamic to just shift it and play with it and get out of that rut of all these expectations that you inadvertently put in place as you are, an example of a couple living together, and you've got your pink and blue jobs and or your parents and or you do this and or you do this, and it just kind of becomes what it is. But the goal here is to nurture that relationship and get out of that rut and just take one little tiny thing and see what happens and twist it. Doesn't mean you have to do it all the time, but where can you surprise your partner?
And that it would just mess with them, wouldn't it? But
Yeah.
so we had a comment. This I might try actually. My other half would never expect flowers.
Right. Do it
Let
and let us know. I love it.
Oh my god, I love that. I know some of the people watching this have got partners who are like working in mechanic garages or mobile people. I just think that would be hilarious. Could you imagine? Like, I just think the blokes today would never think that us women would do that. And this is speaking to the ladies who I know who have got male partners. I think that would be amazing. Okay.
Or maybe show up at their work with a picnic lunch or something. You know, again, it doesn't have to be expensive. Or swing by a coffee if they like coffee, right? Or hot tea or cocoa, and drop off a sweet treat like that in the middle of the day for no reason. You don't stay, you just show up, you drop it off, you blow a kiss, and you're on your way.
I can just imagine partners everywhere going, what the fuck?
Right. So then it's that invitation. That's that orgasmic energy, right? Is like, yeah, you're never usually the romantic one. Ooh, so what if you were?
I'm not either, but I almost expect it.
Ah.
Mmm.
So
Mm.
what do you do that's romantic? And it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be thoughtful. It can be caring. It can be a gift of whatever the love language is that your partner speaks.
One of my girlfriends was saying about love languages, and they're not always what you think they are.
Mhm.
I'm meaning to read a book about it actually. See,
Yeah.
our love languages could be if we experiment with them.
Right. So I love to cook, and my partner has a sweet tooth, and he has a jar. It's called My Stash of Cookies, and it sometimes becomes this expectation that I fill it every week, and I don't always have time to bake cookies, so I will occasionally fill it with love notes just to mix it up. And men love being surprised with words, and you don't always have to say them, but a written I love you, or you're the best, or I think you're cute, or whatever you want to write, they pull that out with a note that's just as sweet as that cookie. So
Oh,
it doesn't have to cost a dime. None of this has to cost a dime,
yeah.
but then you ignite that, um I like to call it chaos, right? Is like you ignite the possibility of what could happen. And then if you function again, now we're in the heart circle of our Venn diagram, is now there's possibility. Now there's this chaos of what if, and what if not, what if, okay, maybe that was just an act of kindness, and whatever it was is it's an opportunity. And if we relax into that and just create lots of little opportunities, you might find that you walk around with a little smile on your face, like you know something nobody else knows. And that is that orgasmic energy that people are so drawn to.
I'm literally in my mind. I'm going, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Too much. Calm down. Rein it
Yeah,
in.
don't overwhelm someone. Save it up, save it up.
I'm really excited. Right. Anyone watching, have you had any ideas? Looks like Joe's just reading that book that I mentioned about. So I need to get onto that. But what can you all do this week to surprise your partners? We've had a comment from Hannah saying that she might be the one to buy flowers. Can anyone else be brave and let us know what they might do? Obviously, if your partner might watch this, maybe don't. But what are you
And you
going to
can
do?
also mention what you would do for yourself in your relationship this week.
Mm, yeah.
Mhm.
Anyone going to be brave enough?
Yeah. That's okay.
So the takeaway from this week and your homework, if you want, is to be the big spoon, mix it up, see what you can do to create more chaos in your relationship that could spark loads of different things. I'm actually really struggling with this. Okay.
Awesome. Awesome.
Struggling with ideas or struggling with other things? Is there something deeper? Feel free to DM either of us after this and
Yeah, no need to share it this way if you don't want to. A question you can ask yourself is, okay, this is bringing something up for me. What is this? And use that as an opportunity to get out of your own rut in your own relationship. And if it's fear, if it's worthiness, shame, all those really heavy feelings and emotions that actually kind of keep us limited. What if you could just kind of embrace it and be like, wow, okay, this is really uncomfortable. Cool, I'm still going to do it anyway. About being connected, ideas and being more connected to my husband. Cool. So, what would it take to be more connected with yourself? The minute you're more connected with yourself, you'll connect with your husband.
you've just been for a weekend away. I know this lady. What did you do on that weekend? How fun. What are you going to create? I'm excited to see how that pans out. I think there's lots of opportunity there. And I think for me, if you were to look back at how you were when in the honeymoon period and reignite that, what did you do together that was, fun and chaotic when you first got together? Maybe to spark that thing, because like the little notes, you're saying about the little notes, I used to put notes in my husband's diary. Well, I stopped doing that because I was, obviously in a rut, not in a bad rut at all, but yeah, what can you do that maybe sparked something when you were first together? Oh,
Yeah.
sex. Okay.
Yeah.
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 Definitely recommend it. Only if you enjoy it.
That's oh my God, I was there. The dancing. Okay, dance in your house. Why
Yeah.
not? Why not just if your jam comes on, dance. I will never forget one Christmas. We were putting up the tree and my husband just grabbed me and we like slow danced and I was like, this is really nice. Gave me all the feels. And it was just lovely. Why don't you just dance? You two are amazing dancers. Like you're so fun. Dance. And even if that's just you dancing by yourself to start with in the kitchen while you're cooking, because is dance not an amazing release of everything?
Mhm.
Dance. Yes. Come on. Usually, I think it would be your partner that would give you the hand. Give him the hand. See what happens. I'm excited to hear from all of you about what happens this week. Bridger, we don't need details about the sex, but enjoy the sex, enjoy the O's, enjoy the, yeah. Let's
Yeah.
all get that sexy underwear is out.
Awesome. He's just walked in the room. Fantastic. You knew it.
Ah,
Woohoo!
woo-hoo!
All right. We need to leave so they can get to dancing.
Yeah, come on. Benja Joe wants to dance with you. On that note, guys, have a great evening. Enjoy your role reversals. Enjoy your sweet little treats, whatever they might be. And we will catch up with you next week where we are talking chaos with kids out of the past. Have a great week and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.